Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sips for Change. As always, we're your hosts, Tammy and Martine, here to bring you exciting conversations about making events more planet and people conscious.
So, Tammy, I know we've been both to tons of business events, but here's a thought. Why is that business events almost never cater to parents?
It's true. I was recently talking to a friend about this. We volunteer on a board together and we have to attend the upcoming leadership conference. And she told me she's struggling to find a babysitter. It's like, hey, come network, learn, and grow your business, but only if you can find a babysitter.
Exactly. And I didn't even realize how big of an issue this was until I became a parent myself. Trying to go to events while balancing kids, it's a real challenge.
Yeah, you're definitely not alone. A study by the Pew Research Center done post-COVID revealed that about two-thirds of US parents who are working from home, especially those with younger children, are staying home due to childcare responsibilities.
Hmm. So essentially, parents are working from home because they can't find reliable childcare. That's huge.
Exactly. And it's not just about being home with the kids. According to McKinsey's 2021 survey, a lot of parents, particularly people of color, are actually willing to quit their jobs for more flexibility in their schedules.
Wow, that's incredible. Parents are actually willing to leave their jobs if it means they can have more flexibility in their schedules. That really shows how important work life balance is becoming.
Yep. In fact, according to the same survey, fathers of color were more likely to quit their jobs than their white counterparts, and mothers from these groups were planning to quit at even higher rates. So, what does this mean for business events? Childcare isn't usually at the top of the agenda when people are planning conferences or seminars.
Right. But think about it. If parents are already struggling to attend work meetings because of childcare, to be honest, I do sometimes, they'll face the same issues with business events. Whether it's a seminar, a trade show, or a networking dinner, parents often find themselves left out.
hmm hmm And it's not just about the attendees. What about the speakers? There are so many working parents who could bring incredible value as speakers to these events, but they miss out because they can't leave their kids at home for long periods of time.
Exactly. But here is the thing. When the Knowledge Discovery and Data Mining Conference started offering childcare, they saw a 6% increase in female participation. That may seem small, but it's a big win for inclusivity at business events.
That's amazing. A little childcare can go a long way.
So, Tammy, how can event planners start making events that support working parents?
All right, let's break it down. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. The first step is to assess the needs of your audience. One, start by sending out a survey to your audience asking questions like, would you be more likely to attend if we offer childcare? Be sure to gather essential information like the kid's age, preferred childcare locations, whether or not they're on site or at a nearby hotel, the need for breastfeeding rooms or parking spaces.
Right. I saw a B2B event in Mexico doing that on their registration page, and I loved it so much. And let's not forget the budget.
Mhm.
Parents might appreciate a subsidized childcare option, especially if costs are a concern.
Good point, Martine. At the ICA's 2017 annual conference, when they offered subsidized childcare, 28 families took advantage of it. And here's the kicker, 90% of those parents said it made a real difference in their decision to attend.
That's a great example. Even a small contribution can make a big impact when it comes to childcare costs. Now, let's talk about on site facilities. Things like baby changing tables in every restroom, ensuring those rooms are gender neutral so both parents can use them. It's not always mommy going to change the baby, it can be daddy too. And designing stroller friendly layouts.
Yes, and we can't forget about lactation rooms. Some mothers might feel anxious about breastfeeding during the event, so offering a private, comfortable space can really make a difference.
Absolutely. I think breastfeeding is so culturally specific. When I lived in Argentina and breastfed my son in public, it wasn't a big deal at all. But then in other countries, I definitely felt uncomfortable. Like I was getting disapproving looks when feeding him in public.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's so important to create an environment where parents feel supported. And speaking of making the event more comfortable for everyone, we should also think about sensory-friendly spaces. This would be great for neurodivergent attendees, kids, or anyone who might need a quieter area. Soft lighting and noise canceling headphones can really help create a calm, welcoming space.
Totally. Now, let's talk about timing too. According to Eventbrite, 59% of parents struggle with balancing their family schedule when attending in person events. It's important to consider school holidays, meal times, and avoid scheduling events during peak family times.
Exactly. No one wants to attend a 3 p.m. session if they know that their kids are going to be hungry and cranky, or if they have to go pick them up from school.
Oh boy, definitely. Next tip on our list now. Partnering with local childcare providers is a big win. You can send out a request for proposal to providers experienced in handling kids at events. This ensures you're offering quality care.
You definitely don't want parents to avoid your event because the childcare was not up to par.
Right. Another way to elevate the event experience is by offering sustainability focused activities that families can enjoy together.
Yes, imagine workshops where families can learn about composting, upcycling, or growing their own food. Engaging in these activities creates long-lasting, eco-friendly habits.
A green scavenger hunt is also a fun idea. It would allow attendees and their families to explore sustainable solutions throughout the event, like recycling stations, plant based food options, and eco conscious vendors.
I love that idea. Now, don't forget about hybrid events. We've got whole episodes dedicated to this topic, and we'll be sure to link them below for you.
Right. Offering a virtual option for parents who cannot attend in person gives them the flexibility to join from home. It's an easy way to include parents without the guilt of leaving their kids behind.
Yep. Finally, once the event is over, measuring the impact of your family-friendly initiatives is key. It's not just about making improvements for the next event. It's also about proving to your internal stakeholders that these efforts are worth it.
Exactly. You want to gather feedback from parents to see what worked and what didn't. By presenting solid data, you can show how these initiatives increased attendance, created more exclusivity, and even boosted revenue. It helps make the case that family friendly options should be part of your event strategy moving forward.
And having that proof will make it easier to secure support and resources for future events, especially when you're working to drive more inclusive, diverse experiences. It's a win-win for everyone.
Agreed. So, we've talked a lot about how important it is to make business events more family friendly. But let's be real. Bringing kids into professional spaces isn't always smooth sailing.
That's true. Not every event is the right place for a kid. I mean, imagine a high-stakes finance conference, and in the middle of a keynote speech, you hear a toddler having a full-blown meltdown. It can really distract, it could be really distracting for speakers and the attendees.
Yeah, and not just that. Some networking events involve late nights, formal dinners, or even sensitive discussions that just aren't kid appropriate, to be honest.
Mhm.
So parents might appreciate the option of childcare, but that doesn't mean they want their little one sitting in on a panel about market volatility.
Exactly. And then there's a safety and liability issue as well. If an event isn't designed for kids in mind, there could be hazards. heavy equipment, crowded spaces, even just a lack of proper supervision. Organizers will have to take on a whole new level of responsibility.
Right. Plus, let's not forget the non parents. Some attendees might not feel comfortable or productive in an environment with kids around. They paid to be there to focus, network, and learn, not to be interrupted by crayons rolling under their chairs.
Right. That's why the key isn't necessarily having kids in the event space itself, but offering solutions like on-site childcare, lactation rooms, and hybrid options so parents have choices without disrupting the professional environment.
Exactly. As everything, it's all about balance. Supporting working parents doesn't mean turning a business event into a daycare. It means creating options that work for everyone.
Mhm.
So, bottom line, family friendly events aren't about turning conferences into playgrounds. They're about creating smart, inclusive solutions that support working parents while maintaining a professional environment.
Exactly. And when done right, it's a win for everyone. Parents can fully engage, attendees can stay focused, and event organizers see a higher attendance, stronger loyalty, and even increased revenue.
Mhm. And who knows? Maybe one day those kids will grow up to be the next generation of industry leaders shaping the future of events themselves.
Cheers to that. Here's to creating more inclusive, family friendly events.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss out on our sustainability deep dives. Thanks for sipping with us, and we'll see you next week.
Until then, keep making conscious choices one step at a time. Bye.